If you're not a member of Glofolio, you might be missing out on some of my private recommendation. I've been posting on Glofolio recently because of one interesting thing I saw on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Now, some of you might be worried because Nigerian Stock Exchange had pulled back some of your portfolio or some of your stocks are already down, and then you're wondering whether you should be buying more or stay away from the market or even quickly liquidate your portfolio because you're not sure of what is happening, especially the uncertainties around CGT, which is the capital gain tax. So let me quickly take you around the Nigerian stock market before I tell you the penny stocks I'm watching. Now, this is the Nigerian Stock Exchange chart. So let me quickly do a deep dive into this particular stuff. Now, you see how the market touched over 155,000 basis points, and then we saw a pullback. At some point in November, we saw how the market crashed by almost 4%, 4 to 5% in a single day, and a lot of people lost money during that crash as a result of massive exodus of funds from Nigerian stock market. And then the following day, we saw how the market picked up gradually, but could not recover half of what was lost during that period. And then the market tanked again. So that immediately brought me into something I call price action. So if you look at where the market could not rise above, it tallied with a previous high, which was attained in August 2025. Now, so this marked a very important key level for me. And then I said, if the market is to recover, I want to see a break above this key level. So in my community, I've been telling my members that I want the Nigerian stock market to rise above 145,000, 147,500 basis points before we can see another Santa Claus rally. Why? Because that was a minor resistance that the market could not rise above after an intensive sell-off. And that region also matched a high that the market reached in August. So it immediately brought to my mind why I need to watch that level. And then suddenly we saw the Nigerian stock market begin its uptrend again. And this time around, it broke this level, pull back again, and then you see the market upward. So I want to officially tell you that the Nigerian stock market had turned bull again. We might see Santa Claus rally in days or weeks to come. So for some of you that don't have a clue on whether you should be buying Nigerian stock or selling because you don't know what's happening, your portfolio is down, this is the time to actually buy good stock. Now, guess what I'm doing when I find opportunities like this? Now, I already said it on my YouTube channel, and for some people that have been following me, that 90% of the move you need to make money in the stock market is actually attributed to the overall market, the broad market. Because when the broad market or the overall market is down, whether you own a good stock or a bad stock, it will go down. And then when the broad market is going up, whether you own a good stock or bad stock, you will see it will most likely go up. So right now that I've confirmed that the Nigerian stock market has actually resumed its uptrend after breaking a minor key level, then what should I be doing? I am looking for penny stocks, fundamentally sound penny stocks. Because if the broad market is going to be driving my stock, then let me take advantage of penny stocks that has good fundamentals in the market. So I've issued some penny stock to buy in Nigerian stock market, and on our community, I dropped one yesterday. You can see if the insurance sector turns bullish, this penny stock will surge. Although I've also talked about stocks that will benefit from that 6.4 trillion market sell-off. That market sell-off we saw in November. There is a stock that is well positioned to benefit from that event. That event that you think had actually wiped out 6.4 trillion from the Nigerian stock market. There is a company that is sitting at the middle that will make a lot of money from that massive sell-off. That is it right here. And then I also talked about one consumer stocks to buy. Now, this stock and this stock are my top 30 December stock to buy. In short, this was posted in November 2024. Sorry, November 24, 2025. You can see one 30 December stock to buy now. And what was that stock? That stock was Ikeja Hotel. You can see here Ikeja Hotel. So I posted it to Glofolio members. Ikeja Hotel was still selling for 20 to 30, 20 naira. So I told them to buy Ikeja Hotel at 20.3 to 20.5. And today, Ikeja Hotel had, sure, the stock topped. Let's quickly look at it on charts. So you can see Ikeja Hotel topped almost 30 naira, 30, 31 naira. You can see before a minor pullback, and the 20 naira is within this region. So this was a quick 45 to 50% gain for us in the Glofolio community. So that is Ikeja Hotel. Now, why am I shedding all this? Your ability to time, your ability to quickly spot the emergence of a new bull will put you at an advantage, will give you an edge in the market. So right now that I've confirmed that the Nigerian stock market will likely be going up after breaking out of this minor key level, which is 147,500, there is one penny stock I want you to watch right now, and that's what I'm going to share right here. In short, there are penny stocks that I've been talking about in the private community, and there is one I posted yesterday. It was even an unofficial buy, but I posted it in our WhatsApp group. So there are penny stocks that have good fundamentals that are also emerging from the bottom. If the Nigerian stock market rallies again, these penny stocks have between 50 to 100% upside potential in the market. Why? Because they have solid fundamental backing them, and they will most likely attract buy interest. There's this natural interest on penny stocks that have good fundamentals. So here, I want to show you one of the penny stocks I'm tracking. That's why I tag this best Nigerian penny stock to buy now before you miss it. Now, why am I mentioning this penny stock? Price is rebounding from a critical key zones. Stronger player are absorbing in blocks. So just pay attention as I'm going to share this penny stock and open your eyes to new opportunities you can take advantage of. Like I said, I don't post videos regularly on this platform, but when I come here to give you one stocks to buy, it's actually a stock that I reserve for Glofolio community, but I just decide to post them maybe once in a month or once in 2 months just for my YouTube subscribers. So don't miss this penny stock that I'm going to share with you right now, but pay attention to my analysis and why I decide to drop this penny stock and why I call it a strong buy towards the end of 2025 and into 2026. Now, my usual disclaimer, the ideas shared in this video are based on my personal research and calculations. Kindly do your due diligence before you invest in this company stock. The stock market comes with a lot of risk due to uncertainties, please, and make sure you vet my recommendation based on your risk profile. And also forget that we have glofolio.com/today where you can see all business and financial news in one place. So let's start. Now, the NGS index broke out of a critical 147,500 level. You can see right here. Now, I consider this a start of Santa Claus rally in the Nigerian stock markets. So if you have been waiting for that perfect time to re-enter or take position on fundamentally sound oversold stock, this is it. Just said it right now. This is it. Why? The market has just broken this particular level, which was also a resistance in August. And now you can see how the market is pushing us. So don't be surprised if the market retests 150,000 basis points into 154 because sentiment has turned positive right now. This is what I share in my community. When I see an opportunity for us to buy at the start of a bull run, we quickly jump in so that the market will most likely reward us and we're going to earn return higher than what an average investors earn. Why? Because we spotted the beginning of a new bull, we bought, and then by the time the market gets to where it's supposed to rise, when others are jumping in on FOMO, we are already exiting the market. Now, today, I want to drop a tiny penny stock you should consider this week, for significant capital appreciation, or else you'll be missing out. So that's what I want to drop today. Now, this penny stock is in the finance space and it's largely overlooked. People don't talk about it, sorry. And it's not popular, but it's quietly rebounding from a key level. Strong players are aggressively absorbing the stock. When I say strong players, these are market movers, people who believe that the company still have upside potential, people who have confirmed that demand is actually outpacing supply in the market. Why am I bullish on this stock? Why am I bullish on this stock? Now, the fundamentals remain solid with interest-bearing assets reaching new high, and there's also moderating interest rates will help drive future growth. Now, there are stocks in the finance space that when interest is high, they benefit. There are also some stocks in the same finance space that when interest rate is very low, they also benefit. So you need to be able to sift through finance stocks to know which stock benefit from higher interest rates and which stock benefit from lower interest rates. Now, if you have watched my videos, especially on FCMB, I talked about how that when interest rates are moderating is good for loan-driven finance stocks or loan-driven banks. But when interest rates are high, it's good for investment-driven bank. So these are, if you go back to that video on FCMB, I talked about it. And if you have been following my analysis on this channel, you would also understand why I said so. When a company, when a bank or a finance stock is largely driven by a lower interest rate tends to encourage people to borrow. And then when interests are high, companies that depend on loan will suffer because it discourages borrowing, and sometimes you even see loan provisioning increasing, default rate is high. But when a bank is focused on investment securities like treasury bill, government bond, OMO, higher interest rates benefit them. So you need to know when to focus on finance stocks that are driven by higher interest rates and finance stocks that are driven by lower interest rates. So this particular stock is a finance stock that is driven by lower interest rates. That's why I said moderating interest rates will drive future growth. Now, the stock's previous resistance was tested twice between January 2024 and May 2025. And then that resistance has turned support level in 2025. And then price is well above my ETC averages. For those that have joined my ETC section, you understand what I mean by this. Price has just, and that's a sign that sentiment is largely positive. What is that particular stock? That stock is MPF Microfinance Bank. Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank. The bank is focused on providing financial services to serving and retired police officers. In short, when the bank was set up, this was the goal of that bank, to serve retired and serving police officers. And now it has extended its banking service to the public. And as at the time I recorded this video, the bank stock was selling for 3.1. So this is MPF Microfinance Bank. Let's quickly look at MPF Microfinance Bank fundamentals for further analysis of why I think it's a bank you need to watch out for. So let's look at the Q3 results. The Q3 results. So let's start with the fundamentals of this particular stock. Remember, it's a penny stock. Penny stocks are stocks that are still selling below 5 naira. So this stock is selling for 3 naira. In short, last year, the stock was selling for 1 naira something. Yeah. So now look at the most recent financials. July to September 2025 against July to September 2024. Gross earning increased from 3.5 to 5.1. Now, interest income calculated using effective interest rates increased from 3 billion to 4.4 billion. Interest expenses 2.82 to 1.1. And then look at the net interest income 2.7 to 3.2. Fees and commission 508 to 683. And then total revenue have increased from 3.2 to 3.9. Then profit before tax 906 to 1 billion. This is a 3-month period. And then profit after tax 689 million to 837 million. Then if you look at the 9-month results, you see an increase from 1.7 to 2.4. Why in net interest income increased from 7.2 to 10.8. Now, what is so interesting for me on this guy's financial statement is this. So I drew down, I wanted to know what's the source of fund of this company. How are they generating money? Remember, they play in the finance space, more or less like a bank. And if you've listened or watched my videos on how to analyze banking stocks, I think you shouldn't be surprised. So first thing I want to look out for is how they generate money. What's the customer deposit? You know, I always said it that when you are, I always say that when you are analyzing a banking stock or a finance stock, especially one that mobilizes deposit or accept deposit, you know, you need to know how that deposit is growing, because that's a reflection of customer confidence in that particular bank. So this guy customer deposit has increased from 28.3 to 36.7. So that's also not bad. So I want to see increase in customer deposits, which is a show of confidence, because when you have confidence in a bank, you most likely want to keep your money in that bank. If you don't have confidence in the bank, you definitely withdraw. So it's something that is normal. Not common sense will tell you that. So I want to see increase in deposit from customers, so which shows that the bank is generating cheap funds. Now, how is the bank utilizing this fund, this money, this 36.7 trillion naira right here? So the first thing I want to look at is investment securities against the loan to customers. When the bank is actually giving the bulk of its customer deposits to customers as loan, then it's a loan-driven bank. But when it's putting that money in more of that money in investment, it's an investment-driven bank. And remember what I said before, when interest rates are high, is good for an investment-driven bank, but when interest rates are low, it's good for low-driven bank. So right here, look at loan and advances to customer. Loan and advances to customer has surged from 22.8 trillion to over 40.1 trillion. And you will see something very interesting. Loan and advances to customer is even far more than deposits. Can you see here? That means the bank is most likely investing all its deposits into loan and advances. So that means the bank is aggressively growing its bottom line through loan and advance from loan and advances. Now look at investment securities, 2.3 to 3. So it's not even any way compared to what it has given out. So that means the bulk of its interest bearing assets is on loan and advances to customer. And meaning that the bank is making money. So most likely the bank is advancing loan to retired police officer, serving police officer, because these ones have steady income, steady salary coming in from the government. So if a bank has more exposure to loan and advance to customer, then it tells you something. It means that they have gotten it right in the business of loan. So which means the interest income of this bank will most likely be coming from loan and advance to customer. So if I come back to my P&L and I go to loan, note 8. So let's go to note 8 to see where the interest income is coming from. Note 8 of the bank. Now you can see note 8, interest income. So you can see loan and advance generating over 10.3 from 7.1. Why? Because of the increase in loan and advance. So if a bank is aggressively growing its loan and advance to customers, then it tells you something. Because if you compare it with macro events, CBN is reducing interest rates, which automatically drives all other rates like saving rates, deposit rates, fixed income rates, even lending rates. So it means that the interest rate the bank is going to charge customers for coming to take money or loan will definitely drop. And that will encourage people to be able to request for more loan. That's one of the reasons I am recommending FCMB for at least long term, 2 to 3 years holding period. So MPF Microfinance Bank is generating bulk of its interest from loan and advances. So you can see government securities and treasury bill is not even in any way close to what loan and advances. So loan and advances contribute 10.3 trillion out of 12.5 trillion. So 10.3 divided by 12.5. It's contributing over 82%. 82%. And you shouldn't be surprised because the bulk of this customer deposits is channeled, they are channeled to, look at it here, loan and advance to customers. And where is the money coming from? The money is coming from, you can see here, the money is coming from customer deposits. You can see here, the money is coming from customer deposit of 36. So you can see even loan advance to customer is even more than customer, which means customer deposit is not even enough. That means the bank is even sourcing funds from alternative channel to add to loan and advance to customers. So you can see how this is. Now, if you want to check the interest income of that bank, remember, interest on loan is almost 10.3. 10.3 trillion divided by 40 trillion, 40.1. So that means the bank is making over 25% interest, 25% return from its loan. Loan alone is generating 10.3 trillion. And what is the loan itself? 40. So 10.3 divided by 40.1 means the bank is generating 25% return. 25% return. Can you see that? Let's even look at the cost of fund. Now, deposit here is 36.7. 36.7. Now, let's look at the interest expenses. 1.1. So you can see 1.1 right here. So let's even go to note to account, note 9. Note 9. Note 9 on MPF Microfinance Bank. This is note 14. Okay, this is it here. Total interest 1.7. 1.7. Looking at, so it should be this 3. 1.5, 6.4. So averagely, this should give us 1.6. Yes, this gives us 1.6. So imagine 1.6. That's what the bank is paying as interest on loan. 1.6 divided by So don't forget 1.5, 64. So averagely 1.6, 1.7. So let's just use 1.7. That's what the bank has paid as interest on loan. Sorry, interest on customer deposit, I mean. So let's go back to customer deposits. So customer deposit here is 36.7. So 1.7 divided by 36.7. Can you see? A bank is paying 4.6%. 4.6% on customer deposits averagely, and is generating 25% if it gives that money out to customers as loan. This is massive. So MPF is a stock you should watch out for right now because it's generating cheap funds to pay 4.6 and make 25% on that cheap funds, meaning that the net interest margin on that company is very, very high. The spread is very, very high. 25% minus 25% minus 4.6. On average, the company is going home with a spread of 20.4 profits, 20.4 on average. This is what I call a profitable bank. This is an example of a profitable bank. And remember, it's a penny stock. That's the interesting thing. It is still a penny stock. You can even look at the cost of debt, the cost to income ratio, where you add all these costs here, efficiency ratio here, 1.3 plus 1.4, that will give us like a 2.7. 2.7, this should be like an average of 2.8. So 2.8 total gross earning is 5.1. You can see 2.8, 5.1. 2.8 divided by 5.1. So cost to income ratio is around 54%. The rule of thumb is not exceeding 50%, meaning the bank should work on cutting its cost to income ratio. If you look at the previous period, 1 million, 1 trillion plus 1.2, that's like a 2.3. So let's say it's 2.2, 2.3. So 2.3 divided by 3.5, 2.3 divided by 3.5. So you can see even in previous year, cost to income ratio was as high as 65%, meaning 65% of its income were incurred was attributable to operational expenses. Now the company improved from 65% to 50%. So that means efficiency is high. The company management is trying to be more efficient. In 2024, cost to income ratio was 64%, meaning 64% of its gross income was attributable to personal expenses, other operating expenses, depreciation, and all that. Now, in 2025, it dropped to 54%, meaning the company is growing revenue faster than expenses. So there's a lot to talk about on this particular stock. I just have to share this to let you see opportunities in certain penny stock so that when the market is recovering, you quickly jump on them. Let's now carry out a technical analysis. Technical analysis of MPF Microfinance Bank. Technical analysis of MPF Microfinance Bank. So let me quickly switch to my weekly time frame. Now, look at this here. Now, this guy, from the beginning of this year, he opened around 1.7. Now, 1.7 to reach a high of 3.3. 1.7 to reach a high of 3.38. So 3.38 minus 1.7. So that's like 1.68. So 1.68 divided by 1.7. So this guy has done an average of 98% on a year-to-date basis. 98%. And now you can see how the stock pulled back due to correction in the market. You can see. But now, notice where the stock found support, key level. The company found key level at a region that doubled as a major resistance in January 2024. That was why I said right here that the company, you can see here, the stock previous resistance tested twice, January 2024 and May 2025. So this is January 2024 and May 2025. So you can see this was a major key level before the stock broke out. So we saw a breakout in July. And then now look at the pullback here. So this level, which was previous resistance, has now turned support. Tested here, tested here. So now that the stock is breaking out of a counter trend line, remember what I said, counter trend line. Counter trend line is what I use to check the end of accumulation, the end of a pullback. Now, when the stock is breaking out of counter trend line gradually, I am not surprised if the market rewards this guy handsomely, if the market will pay more for the company stock. So I'm anticipating a rally on MPF stock going forward. So that's why I'm calling this one of the best penny stocks to buy in the Nigerian stock market. So if the Nigerian stock market recovers and we see a Santa Claus rally into January, MPF is one stock you should watch out for. MPF is one stock that will benefit from that rally. So if this is the first time you're watching my video, kindly hit the subscription button, turn on the notification bell, because when I release important videos like this, if you don't turn on the notification bell, you may not be notified. So to get notification whenever I drop this kind of update, turn on notification bell. Thank you. And don't forget, um, don't forget, please. Here, I still have my book. I still have my book. If you're yet to catch up, catch the my latest updates on 7 stocks to buy, 7 stocks to watch before 2026, please, I'll drop the link in the comment section. I'll drop the link in the comment section. I had a section with my members last week, and I took my time to explain each of these 7 stocks and why I think they will rally. So for some of you that are yet to get that particular book, I will drop a link to get this book in the comment section. And I also indicated the region where I think that when the stock breaks out, then the rally is here. If you want to join our Glowfollow community, go to glowfollow.com/subscribe. I share interesting and hot stocks to buy. Recently, I just dropped a few stocks with my members, and these stocks are right here. One hot consumer goods to buy now. This is another 30 December stock to watch. Don't miss it. Then I also dropped this stock will benefit from the 6.4 trillion market sell-off in November. I'm well positioned on this stock. If this insurance stock turn bullish, this penny stock is so. So there are funny stocks that will be dropping in the community. So don't miss them. And if you want to get access to this kind of penny stock, join Glowfollow community. I may not be posting them on my YouTube channel, but trust me, if you're in my Glowfollow WhatsApp group, you will definitely get access to them.